So today we will be learning about area models the easy way. Area models are always a good visual to know and even better to understand. And even though we are doing them the easy way, it is still a very beneficial method for kids to use when learning multiplication. So starting off, we're just going to have a simple multiplication problem. We're going to do 26 times 7. Now, with this, in order to properly do an area model, the concept is to break down the numbers into tens and ones. So right here we have 26. So instead of leaving that 26, we're actually going to break it down into a 20 and a 6. And since the 7 is already in its ones place, we don't need to do anything with that. So now we can actually start drawing out our area model. So we're just going to simply draw out a rectangle with a line down it. And since the 20 is bigger than the 6, it's an even better visual if you write the line down, not the center, but towards the side or one of the sides a little bit, because then it represents that the one number is going to be bigger than the other number. So here we're just going to write 20, and then over here we're going to write our 6, and then we're going to bring down our 7 over to the side, because we're going to be multiplying each of these numbers by the number on the side. So 7 times 20 is 140. That's an easy thing to remember, because if you just cross out that 0, what's 7 times 2? 14. You add that 0 back in, it's 140. And then coming over here to 6 times 7, that's going to be 42. And then really the last step to this problem is just adding these two numbers together. So 140 plus 42 is going to equal 182. And that's your answer. Next, we're going to do a problem that may seem a little bit more difficult, but it's not, trust me. This time, both of the numbers are going to have 2 digits. So this problem is going to be 35 times 12. Now again, we have 2 digits in each number. So now, if you can't tell, our area model is going to be a little bit bigger. But before we get there, let's break our numbers down. We're going to have from 35 a 30 and a 5. And then from our 12, we are going to have a 10 and a 2. Now that we've broken down our numbers into easier numbers to multiply by, we could start drawing our area model. And again, like I said, this area model is going to be a little bit bigger, because now instead of only having 3 numbers to multiply together, we're going to have 4. So now let's just draw a bigger square. Mine's a little messy, but we're going to separate this out. So we could draw a line right there and a line right there. Starting off, we can write our 30 and our 5. And then over here on the side, we can write out our 10 and our 2. And now again, you're just going to go ahead and multiply. 30 times 10 is 300. 5 times 10 is 50. 30 times 2 is going to be 60. And then 5 times 2 is simply 10. Now again, now that we've got all of our numbers multiplied, we need to add these numbers all back together in order to get our complete sum to our original problem. So you're going to do 300 plus 50 equals 350. And then you could do 350 plus 60 equals 410. And then you can take your 410 and add the last 10, and you get 420. And there you go. There's your answer. We have one last problem to do. Again, it has double-digit numbers, but like this one, it's really not that bad. So once we get this all erased, we can start. Okay, so our last problem is going to be 18 times 42. So again, we have our double digit numbers. So we're going to need to break these up into 4 separate numbers. 2 numbers for 18, 2 numbers for 42. So 18 is going to be a 10 and an 8. And then 42 is going to be a 40 and a 2. Very simple. Now that we have our numbers broken up again, we can go ahead and draw our box. Draw our lines for our box, and then we can start filling in the outside of our box. So we're going to have 10 and 8 on top, and then over on the side we're going to write our 40 and our 2. And now we can start multiplying. 40 times 10 is going to be 400. 40 times 8 is going to be 320. 10 times 20, or 10 times 2 is going to be 20. And then 8 times 2 is going to be 16. And now again, we can go ahead and start adding these back together. So 400 plus 320 is going to equal 720. We can take that 720, bring it down, and add the 20 to it that we had right here, which equals 740. And then we can take our 740 and add our last number, 16, which equals 756. And that's it. That is learning how to do area models. It may seem tricky at first, but in the end, it's super simple. And writing it out this way, I feel, is very beneficial to the kids and you guys as parents in order to help you with your child's homework. So, thank you and have a good day.